How you guys doing?
Nice boring game.
Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. Obviously, we'll get y'all, an update on Felipe when we have one, finally. But I think, they feel pretty certain that there was, the break with the dislocation, so he'll be out for the year. It's obviously a huge loss for us. Had to play that game really shorthanded. I think we were down. Zuniga kind of went down the first play of the game, didn't play again, and you're already down a couple other defensive starters going into the game. So, with Bernie out and CJ out. So we're pretty banged up. But really interesting how the game played out. With a couple minutes left. It was about 4 minutes left. It was, it was basically the exact same game as last year, right? It was 21-10. We score. We go for two, right? We miss a field goal, so it's 21-10. One that Evan rarely misses. Never. We get it back. We score, go for two. Don't get it. Same exact score, except with 4 minutes to go this year. We make a stop. We get the ball. We go down. We go score a go-ahead touchdown. We get another stop on defense. Poor coaching on my part. I would make it a huge emphasis. I had Josh in there for a reason. Make sure, stay in bounds, execute it, find the lane, set it up, cut it back underneath so you stay in bounds. And poor coaching that I didn't get down. Because if he gets down, we would take a knee, the game's over. But that's really hard to tell guys to do, to just take a dive, and just lay there on the field. So we score, and then we make plays to win the game on defense again at the end of the game. So we're really proud of our guys to make the plays we needed to, even on their field goal attempt. I went over and told them, we got to stop them here. They got a young kicker. Let's stop them. We stop them here. 3rd and 1. You can't let them keep going. Okay, stop them here, get us the ball, so we still have a time to win, and we did. We made, we weren't very good on third. We did a lot of poor things poorly. We were really bad on 3rd down all night long on defense until we needed to be good, and we found a way to be good at the end. Offensively, we killed ourselves with some penalties. At critical moments, every time we hit an explosive play, holding penalty. Hey, we're in the red zone, 1st and 25. So that was kind of disappointing, but again, we found a way to win, and we didn't do that last year, obviously, and it's a big win. That's an excellent football team. I don't know. You meet with a production crew. And I know with the rankings, everybody does stuff. You're hard pressed to tell me there's 25 better teams in the country than Kentucky. They should be a ranked team. Mark's done a great job with the program. You look at the talent, the guys they have out there in the field. They're big, they're physical, they play hard, they got playmakers. So, what do you guys got?
We saw the whole team go out to Felipe when he was on the cart. What was kind of sad? How was he?
I went out there and I was with him. Told him we all loved him, and we're there for him, and he'll be all right. And then I think the team, it shows what he means to the team and what the team thinks of him. As a leader of the team and the type of guy he is, how hard he works to go do that. And, shows a lot about him and what the team thinks. It really, to me, shows what our team, the respect that they have for his leadership and the love that they have for him. It's a pretty close team. And these guys work hard for these things. And, it's just a tragedy when that happens.
Yeah, the TV broadcast said there was a scuffle on the sideline after that happened. Was that something where guys were just
No.
together?
No, it was the receivers, kind of like they got kind of bumped into each other on the play, and I think they were like, hey, you got to release here. I don't think they knew what was going on in the field. So it was more like they were talking about who was supposed to release where, and they bumped into each other. They're pretty competitive that way. You should go see Pregame Meal and see how competitive they are. They start, they're like, they're arguing about it and competitive about anything, like, what high school football is the best and who had the most yards and trivia questions. They're competitive guys. So I think it was just there was a mix-up on their release of how they kind of played it, and I think they were upset because they want to make the play.
What earned Kyle the shot and obviously.
Well, it wasn't that. I mean, I told both of them as soon as I know everybody gets into it, and I've always said from day one we want to have 3 starting quarterbacks because you never know how things are going to shape out, right? I think we do. I think our guys prepare ourselves to have 3 starters. Even coming out halftime, I'm like, hey, Emery, get ready because we had a little package I was going to get him in for. And when Felipe went down, I called both of them. I said, okay, we're going to roll you guys through right now because I kind of had that package. We're having so much success throwing the ball. And, I know Emery's got such a does have great arm talent. Kyle's just been in some of those situations before, especially when, at that point when you're kind of more in a drop back. You know what I mean? I mean, Emery makes you a little nervous because of the run play action and all that stuff he can bring to the table. A little more drop back roll. And Kyle was kind of hot, so we just kind of stuck with it. I had a couple things still for Emery to get him in, and we just kind of stuck with it with Kyle right there, and he was rolling. So, but moving forward, honestly, we're going to play both guys moving forward.
What made you, I guess, kind of have the confidence in Kyle just because he hasn't really been in a situation quite like this at this level?
Yeah. I think just, I don't know. I mean, I watch it, practice. The same I said, I've been on. It is kind of, in today's college football world, everyone wants to jump the gun. Kyle never, I said, Kyle, hey, if you're not the guy, where's your situation? He said, I'm here. I'm like, okay, you're graduating. What's the situation? I'm here. I'm ready to learn, ready to go to grad school. Love being a Gator. I'm going to work my tail off and compete. Oh, I've never heard a peep from any of our quarterbacks. All I hear from them is, let's get ready for when my number's called to go make the play. You don't know when that's going to be. I can't tell you how hard it is to do what Kyle did. Not when he got on the field. We've seen that. To prepare yourself. If you're a backup wide receiver, you're going to play 30 plays in a game. I mean, if you're on the D-line, you're going to rotate and play. Backup running backs, we roll those guys through. You're in Kyle's position, you're like, hey, I got to prepare. I got to be ready for every moment and everything they're going to do and then not play. And then I got to do that again next week. That's really hard to do. And I think people, it's a tribute to him of his mental toughness, his preparedness, and his being ready for that opportunity.
And you always say you learn a lot about your team once they start to face adversity.
Well, I learned we still got a long way to go. I think Kentucky's an excellent football team. I think we came on the road and got in a very tough environment, came and got a big-time win. And I think when dealing with adversity, we found ways to win. We've had a couple of tough games. It seems like we've been in season 5 weeks. We've played one game in the swamp, and we've been in tough environments against good football teams, and we found ways to win. And I think you can build a lot off of that. We need to get healthy. We need to get healthy. Because right now we don't, in recruiting, eventually we'll build up the depth, hopefully, where we can get through some of this. But we need to get healthy, but we get to go to the swamp for the next 3 weeks. Get to be home, next week. I know it's an early kick, but I'm going to tell you what, we need 90,000 of the Gator Nation giving us that home field advantage, making that place, just crazy for the other team coming in there.
Mark was in much the same situation as you were last week, losing Terry. Did you say anything after the game?
No, just, great job. Good luck. Mark and I have so much. I think Mark and I have a tremendous respect for each other. I have tremendous respect for what he's done here, and build a team that's going to consistently win. At a program that is probably never that goes underrated sometimes. That they're an excellent football team, and so post game I know it's tough on both coaches. You know what I mean? For that, someone's going to be up here and someone's going to be down here, and tomorrow we got to. I don't know. I was looking at the schedule, I think, we got to get ready tomorrow. You know what? We can enjoy it tonight and get ready for Tennessee tomorrow. Right? And they can be upset tonight. And I think they got Mississippi State next week. Is that right? I think they have Mississippi State next week. So they got to be upset tonight and get ready for Mississippi State tomorrow. That's the life of the coach.
1 for 2.
The first time?
116.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's where it gets to. It's on that kind of cusp line right there. But to be honest with you, we were at 57 plays. They were kind of controlling the clock. It wasn't an up-tempo, a lot of possession game. So at that point, you're thinking 12 minutes left. You walk out in the second half. I guess a lot comes through. I'm looking at Evan. I'm like, hey, which way do you want to kick the game-winning field goal? It's like, I'd like to go that way to kick the game-winning field goal. So we kicked off the other direction in the third quarter. I'm sitting there saying, okay, well, if we go for 2, they can go take a bunch of time off the clock where a field goal still ties it. You know what I mean? Which is, so even though you're on the cusp there, to go either way, you got to think in how the game was being played. It wasn't like an up and down game where you're saying, okay, there's going to be 3 more scores before the end. So that's why we went for 2 there. Cut it to get the field goal to tie it.
Second half, the offense played a little bit better. I think Kyle too in the second half.
Yeah, I think there was a couple. The sack fumble, one of the guys went the wrong way. Turned the guy free. If we block him and Felipe, comes off, I'm like, hey, did you see the guy? Yeah, we were wide open. That type of deal. I think we missed a blitz pickup on 1 or 2 of them. Overall, though, I thought our protection was decent. The thing was to me is us building off of, because it's stuff we can control. Some of the pressures were missed assignments more than getting beat. I think there were 1 or 2 where we had a guy get beat. Which in an SEC road game, that's not half bad. So we can clean that up though a little bit, and it's attention to detail, focus. That's a young group. Offensive line. Again, you look at the veteran position. You look at some of the receivers and the veteran players there and the plays they make, right? And we have veteran quarterbacks and they don't skip a beat. They keep going. Running backs, and the O-line's one of our younger positions, and so at times they look pretty good, and other times you're like, those are growing pains you go through as a team.
It seems like the running game kind of struggled to get going. What can you say about that?
Well, I think part of it was you look at what they were doing, and the passing game didn't struggle. And we got to do is just take what they give us. As you get into a flow of game, they're going to let us throw it. We threw it. And so sometimes that's just how it goes, and you gotta adapt to that. That's why trust me, I love being balanced, right? We threw it 30 times, ran it 27. Somewhat balanced, obviously you always like to tip the scales on the side of the run. That's me. I love to run the ball, but if you're gonna sit there and let us throw it and say we're not gonna let you run it, we'll throw it.
Final questions for Coach. Our players will be in shortly.
Did you get any clarification? There was they reviewed pass interference. We didn't get anything.
Yeah. The review was whether the ball was thrown across the line of scrimmage. It's supposed to be a screen behind the line of scrimmage. They said the receiver was just over the line of scrimmage. So, and we were blocking.
You guys get the targeting call. There were a few of them.
Yeah, honestly, I think all of them are pretty legit, and you can make all the argument whether you like it or not. That's irrelevant. They all kind of hit. I think all of them hit the criteria. You know what I mean? That's the tough part. You watch them and you're like, one of those. But all of them kind of hit the criteria. I know on ours, from my coaching point, getting Steiner there. He didn't go high, didn't hit him in the head. Watch me here.
While you're running full speed.
Yeah, no, it helps.
That's the difference. And that's what I told him. I said, hey, nothing you do. Hey, you did what we asked you to do. Just that much. But that's for him. That's protection of him as much as the other player, of keeping that head up.
Last week's halftime wasn't friendly. What was this week's like?
No, this week is fine. This is fine. I thought, I didn't. I thought they were playing well, but I thought they were a good football team. I thought we needed to do a better job of getting a couple mistakes getting off the field, especially I was annoyed with the 3rd and 21. Was that what it was? I was annoyed with that one. But, we need to get off the field a little bit better on 3rd down I was frustrated with. And then we needed to stop killing ourselves with stupid penalties or in a missed assignment with that killed drives. So we end up with a negative, you get knocked. We're driving and a penalty or driving and a missed assignment with the sack or the sack turnover. We're going to, we got guys wide open. It might be, a quick strike to score offensively. I thought we could have scored more offensively, missed a field goal. So that was frustrating, but it wasn't one to me where I thought that we didn't have the right mindset. You know what I mean? I thought last week I didn't like our mindset as much. This week I didn't think it was a wrong mindset. It was just we were making simple mistakes. And the key for me was if we believe we're going to win the game, right? Their chance because we've made some mistakes, it's going to come down to the wire. And what we need to do is continually believe we're going to win the game. And we did it.
Thanks, Coach. I'm gonna wrap this up back here. If you need that, if you come up to the side, I'm gonna pull him up to the side. Coach, come up to the side.
I don't know, just managing.
What about the pitch?